Hey guys, welcome to Ironess Insights. I got a great guest here today, Jason Nelson, the founder of Necessary Security. Jason, thank you very much for hopping on. Where are you calling from?
Chicago, thanks, Alex. I'm really excited to get this opportunity to chat and share a little bit more.
Yeah, awesome, man. Looking forward to hearing from you. You said it's 9 degrees there right now?
Below zero Fahrenheit.
9 degrees below zero. Okay, well, in New York right now, I think it's about 30, but Sunday we're getting 12, 14 inches of snow, it says.
Well, good luck with that. Hopefully the pizza rat will still be able to tow that around.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hopping on. I wanted to first, I guess, just ask you give us a little bit about your background. Why did you start Necessary Security and what kind of got you into it?
Yeah, so it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. I had a background in consulting. I've been working in finance most of my career, and I just got to a point where I had achieved a lot of things I had wanted to achieve, and I had an opportunity to kind of step back and start my own company. And leveraging relationships I had in industry and things like that, I was able to start working right away and even getting outside finance just a little bit, like into healthcare and pharma. But those things were literally just taking the lessons learned of how to build programs, how to improve security, implement uh, new technology, and just taking that from a large scale and bringing it into, sometimes smaller scale or sometimes just uh, different banks that had not yet done the things I had done at prior banks. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, and I'm just I love the opportunity to be kind of independent.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. It's definitely nice not having to work for the man anymore. When you were now you just work any 80 hours a week you want, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like your own boss. I'm like, except for all the other bosses I have, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so what were you doing in finance exactly? Like that's an interesting pivot. I'm just curious what you were doing when you were working you said
Yeah,
you're
so
working for a big bank?
yeah, so I had worked with Citibank as an FTE. I had followed my management team from JP Morgan, or in both cases, enterprise architecture, security. So building out new security architecture programs, building out new threat modeling programs, sometimes in response to regulatory actions, so consent orders and things like that, and then having to demonstrate that back out internally to, of course, build the program and make it effective, but then also demonstrate the control efficacy back out to our regulators. So having success in that area kind of was a good point for me to say I've achieved some things in the industry. And at scale of something like Citi and JP Morgan, you're not going to get much bigger than that. So that's where the opportunity of I should do this for other people that maybe can't afford the teams I was able to hire at those companies.
Right. So who do you focus on helping?
So I have gone to other banks, more like tier two banks,
Hmm.
and it's great because they don't have as much regulatory pressure, but
Hmm.
they still are seeing it. And so they're not going to build it to scale or as to the intensity that I had to before, but they still need to identify threats. They still need to have a process to uh, build the solutions in a consistent way that integrate into the architecture process so that they have reusable patterns and don't have to keep uniquely and novelly solving the same problems over and over again. So that's been a big thing of what I've been doing for that. And then the same is true for pharma. So pharma has regulation that says you must do threat modeling. Now
Yeah.
on the product side, that is true. Now when you move into the drug side, that is different. So when I say product, I don't mean the drugs and things like that. I mean like the pacemakers and the implants and other things that go
Yeah.
into human bodies. The FDA regulates that. For the pharmaceuticals, they have different regulation, but they also now care about data privacy. And they also do care about what systems and third-party vendors can reach in and touch this data. So that's where the security architecture and threat modeling becomes important for them. So I've been branching out into that industry as well.
That's interesting. Yeah, my cousin actually works for a pharma company called Panther based out of Pittsburgh, and yeah, he works in their cybersecurity department, and yeah, it's certainly a different world, but it sounds like you're already diving into it.
Yeah, no, it's great, and finance is it's its own beast, and you go into any industry and they're slightly different, but regulation is ultimately the same. They're just looking for you to demonstrate controls and things like that. So it's an easy crossover, but the culture is quite different.
Yeah. How are you finding these tier two banks to work with? Are these existing relationships that you've had at Citi or?
Yeah, yeah. So what's great is at Citi, I worked with the VC arm. So they would bring me
Mm,
in to evaluate potential new investments or existing investments and who to place and things like that. And so in meeting all these new people,
hmm. Yeah.
you know startups, like people will either go and do or they blow up and split off and do other things.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of great opportunity to get to know people. And then once you work with somebody and build a relationship, then they tell you, oh, you should work with this person. And so that has been great to kind of spider things out. It's like a marketing without marketing. And
Yeah.
so that's been really helpful. And then with the banks, it's a small world. So I worked with Amazon and I started to practice in London. So I got to know a lot of people around the world. And banks aren't that big. Like everybody knows each other somehow.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny how small of a, big of an industry can actually be really small.
Yeah, so I've been leveraging those relationships just to get work here and there, and it's been really nice. Uh, Being a small company, I have to find a way in because I'm not a preferred vendor, and so I have to come in through preferred vendors and things like that. So I've partnered with EY and I've partnered with other consultancies to come in their paper. So
So that's one of your strategies and how to, I guess, differentiate yourself or get in front of them.
yeah, because I mean, I could have the greatest relationship in the world with a managing director, but I'm going to get stopped at the door when it comes to getting paid or allowed to get a badge. So I need to find a way in, and that for me is the has been the most expedient. Eventually, for a smaller bank, I'd like to kind of build my own, get on the preferred vendor list myself, and that's something I'll continue to work towards.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it seems like the spider webbing and networking is working well for you. I mean, what do you think you'd like to try to improve on right now?
I mean, I I've had some silly posts. I've tried new things. I see other people trying things,
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. And everybody's done the AI, Notebook LM or ChatGPT or whatever. Yeah, it's fun. It's frustrating to kind of get to a point where it's actually somewhat accurate in what you want it to say. But I've had some positive comments like, hey, I see what you're trying to do. Keep it up. So I appreciate that. But it's hard. I really appreciate what good marketing and placement is because honestly, I'm not getting the traction I'd hope to get.
it's really tough. And when you're a one man show, right? You're focused on your business so much, your head's down, and it's really tough to wear a lot of different hats, especially in something in a realm where you may have not been the expert your whole life, just like the cybersecurity stuff, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So, and I talk to other people, and I think that's been what's been really nice is not just the people I know, but other people. They're seeing what's happening in the marketplace, and so they'll reach out and hey, let's call a chat. Like I'm starting my own thing too. Check it out. I'm not selling you anything, but talk to me about like what your challenges are, and I'll tell you about mine. And that's actually been really helpful because silly things like how much are you paying for your website and
Yeah,
what just things
exactly.
like that.
Because how do you know what's the benchmark? I mean, you could spend 250 a month, you could spend 2,500 a month. What's the
Yeah.
difference? Is it worth it? SEO optimization, AI chatbot. I mean, are we doing this or are we just doing the bare bones? What do we want to focus on here?
Yeah, and some of the sillier things because the perception of trying to be bigger. So you have this AI assistant. So
Hmm.
you call into the number and it's like a person's answering.
Yeah.
And just all these gimmicks. And I'm just like, I don't know if I have time to even think of that type of stuff. And then, and then I have to go respond to it. It's like, oh boy, that's okay. So I'm still working with email and phone calls. So
Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
where that goes.
Exactly. So how long have you been working with this with your company now?
So I'm coming up on 2 years, and that's pretty exciting for me.
Congrats. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you lasted 2 years, man. You're still paying the rent, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so many of my friends that have been doing this for a while, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna last. And there's like, you need to shut up right now. Like, you have paying customers. My
Yeah.
first couple of years, it was rough,
Yeah.
and they tell me their stories, and I'm just like, no, you're right. I shouldn't be complaining at all. So yeah, no, I'm lucky, and I'm gonna keep trying. Would I like to be able to scale and hire people so that I'm not just doing the work all the time? Yeah, but I'll get there. I'm being told that it takes time.
Yeah. And you have to put yourself in a position to be lucky, right? You're not just lucky, right? You did the work, you know your stuff, and you just have to keep going until literally never stop until one hits, then you get one and then you keep going, right? And that's exactly it. And you never really know when you're going to pick up and jump to that next level. But it sounds like, yeah, you're surrounding yourself with the right network of people. And it's also helpful to collaborate on things like, how much you paying for this? Should I be using this? Did this work for you? What are you using that's working? What are you using that's not working?
Yeah.
These are all things that are really important. And if you can avoid the cost and learn from a mistake of someone else's mistake, I mean, that's priceless.
Oh, yeah. No, the AI companies that I'm hearing about, this CEO has 17 AI employees. I'm going, do they have the time to check that their agents are actually accurate and doing the right things? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been doing a lot of AI stuff
Yeah.
for customers, and a lot of it is about training it like a child.
Yeah.
And so you can't trust it until you've raised it and trained it, and that takes a lot of time.
It's only as good as the information that it has, right? And you're exactly right. You have to train it like a toddler. And yes, it learns quicker than a toddler, but you have to really blast it with that information. And not to mention security too. I mean, you have to worry about all the information you're giving it and how you
Yep.
secure that.
Yeah, the identities and then
Yeah.
measurement.
Yeah.
So I need it, especially in regulated industry, which is where I'm working. You can't tell your regulator how you made this decision for a trade or some other customer information type thing that the magic box told you to do it. Like, that's not going to be a good day for you or your bank. So those are a lot of the tougher decisions that so when I look at what I do, like, oh, I have some product ideas and stuff that I do for customers is highly repeatable if if the customers allow access to their data.
Hmm.
And so for me, trying to create that product and ability to transition from here to here, that because customers are highly sensitive to no, 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 no. You can't share my information that could in any way be shared with another customer. So that's what I'm talking about with AI. Like, it's tough to build something because once it learns something, it can't unlearn it.
Yeah.
And that's been the challenge of building a product that trains from something but doesn't carry over that information.
Right. How can you protect the sensitive information, but keep the knowledge and maybe learning experiences from the other one? But it's tricky, right?
And to get to the customers, both sides, to believe that you've actually done that.
To believe and agree.
Yeah. So these are the things that I'm trying to grow and improve upon because I see that's what the market is demanding and is paying for, and it's interesting. I mean, it is interesting work. That's my favorite part. Is I'm not stuck doing a project just because politics pushed me into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, I mean, it's like this is what people want, right? They want more efficiency. Um, It's funny, people use the buzzword AI, but it's like, these LLMs have been around for a while. We've had we have a lot of systems in place, a lot of workflows that have existed. Um, but I think it's a good thing though, because people are more open to these types of solutions now. I think people aren't quite aware of the risks exactly, which we have to help with education and explaining to them exactly, but also the rewards, right? And what we can do that just makes things so much more efficient.
Yeah, that's it, 100% it. Because until they saw how it affects their day to day, not just futuristic, maybe cool stuff later, but it's literally bringing it to how do you make my business day to day better? So, example, I don't need something to solve everything and replace all my employees. That's not actually what I think a lot of companies want.
No, it's
I
opposite.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, like make their lives easier so they can focus on their jobs. So
Yeah.
when they're spending hours doing timesheets, why? Or
Yeah.
when they need to look up, you know, what is this versus that from some policy to know how to move forward? Well, these are great. This is static structured data.
Hmm.
AI should train on this. I should be able to write easy prompts and they can get their answers very, very quickly so that they can move forward. Wonderful. Like these are all great use cases for this technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as we actually develop more and more of those things, I think people's attitudes change towards the value of AI rather than just it can write an email for me. Like, oh, okay, that's not terrible, but it's just not really the value of the business, what they need.
It's not just, yeah, exactly. It's not chat GPT. Make this email sound more formal. And it's like, sure, that might help you save 15 minutes on an email, right? But we're talking about, it's all about how you present it um, to the potential client, right? And it's like, how are we saving you money while we're saving you time? And time is obviously money. And if we can get your employees working on the things that are money producing activities versus mindless tasks that take a lot of time, I mean that in itself is just like something like a lead generation and getting more business. If not, it could be better.
So regulated industry doesn't care so much about some of that stuff, like, yeah, whatever. What they care about is they have to follow the rules of the road, which are ever changing. Like
Hmm.
the regulators come in with the next new thing. Somebody did it better, so now everybody else has to follow. Like that's just the nature of regulation. Like if someone did it better, they win, and everybody else gets an MRA.
Hmm.
You know, that's just how that game works. Fine. So something we're working on is something meaningful. Third party risk management. It's a huge topic in regulated industry right now. Okay, so what does that mean? I can actually build something instead of having bought a tool that scans and tells me potential. This could be this, that. Who cares? That's not what regulation is. Regulation doesn't say, have you bought a tool that tells you to do stuff? It's have you defined what is acceptable at your business? That's where AI could come in. If you've defined what you want, it can go across to all of your SaaS products and say, they're not doing this, so they need to do this. That's it. You can build that into your contracts and
Yeah.
they have to fix it. Like, so you don't need to hire more people. Like,
Yeah.
that's the real value of AI.
Right.
And that's what we're working on right now because that's what businesses actually want. And did we have to let go of anybody to do this? No. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
augmenting that entire team of what their capability is. And so I'm really excited about that. I know a lot of people are down on AI and everybody's gonna leave. It's like, nah, you just gotta pivot.
Exactly, man. It's just like the internet. Like, the internet's you're gonna lose all jobs. It's shopping
Yeah.
is dead. It's quite interesting. It's just a pivot and it's a new way. Now you do have to adopt it, right? You have to learn how to use it, right? You can't just you know, do the typical desk job and not implement it because you'll get replaced with someone who's way faster at working with the tools that you have, right?
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, but you had to learn how to use the office tools,
It's
and
very similar.
so not it's the same thing. It's a different structured language that you have to use.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's figuring out right what to put in and to get the right answer out too. I mean, and it's not brain science, man. If you can figure out an Excel sheet, you can figure out Microsoft Office, you're totally fine.
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta be open to it, and maybe that's it. You get used to something for decades that you just don't want to change.
That's what it is. That's what it is in a lot of cases. But I think it's going to change soon though, and I think we're seeing a nice percentage of adoption with it. But there is that real fear, and I get questions on the podcast, but also just out in the world. What do you think is going to happen to like our jobs? And so I think what you should do is start learning it to the best of your ability and be the best at it. Because if you're the best at it, or if you're in the top 10%, top 25% of it, you are going to kill it. And there's going to be no worries because you're already ahead of the game. Now, if you lag behind, that's another story. If you're afraid, if you just live in this fear and just complain at the local watering hole,
Yeah,
it's not gonna help you, right?
uh, yeah. I posted something on my GitHub. Just it's like 25% of what we actually did for the project for the customer, but if you are paying attention, you know exactly where it leads to and how to take it the rest of the way. But every large company has an architecture review board, and they're generally good or bad quality, whatever. And then what efficacy they do as far as making change again. So the what I did is for LLMs, because everybody has to review LLMs. Some
Mm.
companies are ahead and they have ethics boards as well, which
Yeah,
takes another 6 months to get a model through. Da da da.
yeah,
So having lived those enough to say, okay, we're just doing the same garbage as we were doing before. What if we applied the same architecture principles to LLMs as we do everything else? And if I can define what good, bad is towards requirements of the company, people can come into this, have an automated assessment, get actionable steps to be ready to be admitted, and it scopes and descopes the meeting based upon pass fail of the analysis.
hmm,
Wow, like I just saved hours of this meeting.
yeah,
And so that is another example of we now have the tools that can do the things as long as we tell it what the parameters are and
yeah.
how to measure. And you don't even have to trust it. You build into it, show me the work you did, how you made this decision.
Yeah, exactly. Walk me
And
through it, and it will.
and it does. And so now we have all the evidence we need, documented in the format we need it in, and it can feed into later process because it's again structured data.
Yep.
How great is this?
Let's
Like, I don't know why
go.
people aren't more excited.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it sounds like you're rocking and rolling, and a lot of these things are working, and you're building these out. Now, if you could wave a magic wand today and fix one thing, what would you do?
Oh man, that's a big question. So many things. I guess to stay in the realm of security, IT security, and architecture, I would try to get a structured data to represent the control frameworks that regulated industry follows. I know a lot of teams are, have been moving to OSCAL and things like that. Great. That is a means of having machine readable structured data. Awesome. What we're not towards is the definition of the controls that our regulators give us to say, basically, this is the range. I don't care what industry you're in, it's this range.
Right.
So you choose where you want to be, and does it fall in that range? Pass. If it doesn't, fail. And then you choose your adventure after that. But that normalization and the automation of the assessment is the magic wand, I think, for so much of what the challenges are at any bank right now.
Mm,
They don't even know how to interpret or ask the question. So people show up, and whatever that person feels that day, or whoever shows up to that meeting, that's the path you're on. It's not a standard. this is the way the bank assumes and must behave. It's Joe today felt this way, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, so how do you think we can get there?
It is literally just normalizing the way we do the assessments because we all look at this framework, this framework, this framework. There's always a new way somebody changes a word and says it's brand new. Okay,
Yep.
just put it into a structured way because they're all basically saying the same stuff. And this is what it is. You want to pivot it to be a different set of things, add it on, or
Yeah.
just cut out the old stuff. But this structured way of how to interpret and then put it in the values, that I think is going to be the easiest way to move forward because once you have a standard way of asking and answering, and the data is structured the same way, you can build out process and tooling around that. So it can feed and take action rather than I've created another report that then you have to go interpret and make a decision. And then there's just it's a difference between on-prem and cloud. Cloud provided, I've built the logging, I've built the authentication, I've built the storage, data encryption. It's all available to you
Hmm.
in a standard way. You can choose how and when to use it, but it's standard. And that's why it's easier to be compliant in the cloud because you don't have to build all this stuff and do all the investment and time. It's just turn it on, you're done. This is the same concept for architecture.
Hmm.
I built you all the endpoints and how to decision on that, and the data gets stored in a certain way. Now build your process around that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely exciting stuff. It's going to be very interesting couple of years. I
Yeah.
think what how everything starts turning out, but I think in the end it's going to be positive, right? There's a lot of fear out there, but I think I think we reinforce that, as long as you continue to adopt and roll with the tide, and it's things will move in the right direction in a positive way, right?
Yeah, it's exciting for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thanks so much, Jason. I really appreciate you joining us today. Where can my viewers find your company?
We have a website, necessarySecurityLLC.com, and we're on LinkedIn.
Perfect.
So necessary security, you'll find us there, or my
Awesome.
page.
I'll put those links below the video here, guys. Uh, Jason, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I really appreciate it.
Alex, appreciate it. Good talk with you. Thank you.
Thanks, man.